Hello you beautiful bloody bunch of buggers you, and welcome to a special spooky Halloween 2020 episode of Tech Spurt Weekly. 2020, eh? The only year where the idea of ghouls and goblins dancing in the streets is actually kind of legit. Frankly, I'm finding myself watching horror movies in the evening just to cheer myself up after a daily dose of reality. Don't worry wee Jimmy, it's not so bad. A psycho in a hockey mask might sneak into your house at night and rip open your belly and strangle you to death with your own dripping hot entrails, so you never have to read another depressing story about how Brexit is right up the arsehole. Anyway, I believe that's more than enough merriment to lift everyone's mood, so let's crack on with the show. Jingle me, mother. Tech Spurt Weekly. So as far as tech news goes, certainly when I shot this video there were no launches or any real kind of excitement at all this week, so kind of a time to bring back the show, never mind. One little slice of titillation though was that the Xbox Series X embargo lifted, or rather the unboxing embargo lifted, not the actual full proper reviews embargo, which is still in place until November the 5th. So while I can reveal that I've got an Xbox Series X, I can't actually tell you anything about what I think of it until the November the 5th embargo also buggers off. What I can do you is show you what the console looks like, as if you haven't already seen it from every possible angle imaginable. But maybe you haven't seen the bottom edge though, so just in case, here you go. Look at that. Lovely. I'm also allowed to show you the cables that come with the Xbox Series X, so here is the power cable. A bit of a disappointing length, I've got to say, for now, but plenty of flex, so that's nice. And this one is the HDMI cable, HDMI 2.1 compatible, of course, bit longer, so a bit more satisfying. Bit of ultra high speed action, ladies, oh yeah. Oh, and I can also show you the actual box that the console comes in as well, so there it is. Says Xbox on it, and also says Series X down in the corner there as well. So kiddies, on Christmas Day, if you get one that says 1X, you know that your parents done f***ed up. And then around back you've got helmet block and the slogan "Power Your Dreams," which frankly would be quite nice because up until now 2020 has been quite substantially powering my dreams, and frankly I've had enough of that. So I could have done an Xbox Series X unboxing, but it would have literally just been that what you just witnessed. So yeah, stay tuned for November time when I will give you my full thoughts on how the console actually performs. Sticking with the gaming shenanigans, AMD also guffed out its latest Big Navi cards, which are set to take on Nvidia's fresh RTX 3000 series GPUs, but at a significantly smaller cost. Even the big bollocks model, the RX 6900 XT, great name guys, will apparently only cost you a cool $1,000, despite AMD's claims that it can keep the slightly demanding Doom Eternal running at 4K resolution on ultra graphic settings at a very spooge-worthy 150 frames per second. If true, it's definitely spare pair of pants time, but honestly, what is going on with GPU naming? Do you remember back in the day when all these graphics cards used to be called like Sapphire and Demon Skull and all this kind of crazy stuff, and now it's getting like laptops, man, just a string of letters and numbers. But anyway, that's about as thrilling as this week's been, so now it's time for the part of the show that's about as lovable as a dead skunk dressed up as Hitler. It's viewer comments. Woo, woo. Viewer comments. So we may as well start with a glorious conspiracy theory about why there was no show last week. Mike says no episode due to the hair transplant surgery. Well, as you can see, that clearly ain't the frickin' case. Unless they were transplanting hair onto some other part of my body, of course, which doesn't really bear thinking about. On that note as well, Zachary says, as someone who is suffering from male pattern baldness, I need to know, do you use shampoo or body wash to wash your head? Oh, definitely Timothy all the way for me, my friend. It's all about the little luxuries in life. You got to treat yourself. And I don't just shower like common folk. I bugger off up a mountain, switch my head around in a waterfall, all the good stuff. And I dab on a good bit of L'Oreal as well because I'm motherfucking worth it. Next up, Sean says, Chris, have you got a photo of you when you had hair? Yeah, I do. Next up, Kintama HD says, my mom wishes she could have your eyebrows, mate. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I should probably see about getting these luscious caterpillars transplanted onto my noggin. Definitely redistribute a bit, that would work. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Sorry, I didn't just burst into song for the hell of it. The guy's username is actually Can't Touch This. Says, never realised how bushy his eyebrows were until this video, and now I can't unsee it. How could you not notice my best feature, dude? Come on, I'm offended. Probably too busy staring at my tits, you filthy beggar. Next up, David says, sounds like Chris has been on my mum's Tinder, and she's 84. I like it. A woman with experience. Definitely great stuff. Don't knock a bit of the old granny love until you've tried it, right? Once you get over the fact that their skin feels like a bit of dried up hairy orange peel, it could be a very eye-opening experience, shall we say. And the best thing is, if you're in a proper kinky mood one evening, you can just close your eyes and pretend you're getting a handy from Skeletor. Oh, Jesus. I'm really, really sorry if this is your first short, because it'll almost certainly be your last, I'm guessing by now. Geez, moving swiftly onwards. A bit of Ed Sheeran love in the comments yesterday after I mocked his musical talents. Jordan says, what did Ed Sheeran ever do to you? Nothing personally, obviously. It's not like he came round to my house and flicked me on the balls or anything. I've just been subjected to his own personal brand of pop bilge a few too times too often. Ian says, as you are musically talented... What? As I am musically... Is this a wind-up? When it comes to instruments, I can't play a single damn one. Not a recorder, probably not even a triangle. I'd probably murder the shit out of a triangle. When it comes to musical talent, I am right up there with the aforementioned sewage pipe that is Mr. Sheeran. Anyway, Ian says, as you're musically talented, I would actually piss myself laughing if you could do a musical rendition of TechSpurt Weekly jingle with some musical instruments. You know what, I'll tell you what, that does actually sound like fun. I did used to do a little bit of mixing, like crap mixing back in the day, so maybe I will try and do some sort of happy hardcore rendition of it. Now Joseph has a proper tech question, guys, so strap yourselves in. He says, I currently have a Moto G5 Classic, great phone, but I need an upgrade. Should I get a Google Pixel 4a or a Moto G5G Plus or something else? Maximum budget, 350 quid. Well, I'm assuming from the phones that you listed off that you want to stick with that sort of stock Android experience that you get from the likes of Motorola. For 350 quid, I'll say, yeah, Pixel 4a all the way. Great camera tech and solid enough specs. Boom, that was easy. I think I'm actually starting to get the hang of this tech advice thing after, what, over a decade of doing it. Next up, Mountain Goat Yeti says, I'm sorry in advance, great, but I have a lucky likey. I was really hoping to avoid this for another week, but roll that jingle. Which crap celebrity do I look like this week? So the first one, I've never seen you in the same mood as Ed Stafford. Hang on, he's the walkie about dude, right? The English guy who does outdoor stuff. I'm sure that's exactly what he's put on his f***ing LinkedIn as well. Walkie about dude. Hang on, let me check him out. Holy bloody Nora. Yeah, that is exactly what I look like when I pull my top off. 100%. Yeah, no, I'll take that. Feeling that, you do look a little Colin Farrell-like in his shaved head beard days, and then there's David Draymond from the band Disturbed. Yeah, you're just rattling off slapheads now, basically, aren't you? Anyway, thank you very much, Mountain Goat Yeti, for another wonderful segment there. And in fact, I actually need to bring back yet another old segment I'd hoped would be buried in the past, because I made a bit of a monumental cock-up last week. Gaffe of the week. Jason says, when you compared the Motorola Edge with the WWE Edge, that wasn't actually Edge, that was someone called Matt Riddle. Nice try, Uncle Spurt. Yeah, I mean, I guess the Moto Edge was okay. Like, it was perfectly fine. I'd rank it alongside the WWE Edge as things that were perfectly alright and enjoyable enough, but you wouldn't want one stashed in your pants, really. Piss and indeed flaps. Yeah, I've got to admit, it's been a couple of decades since I watched any WWE shenanigans back in my very drunken days at uni. So apologies for the muff up there. This, of course, is the real WWE Edge. Next up, Matt says, mate, can you give your 12 fans your thoughts of other smartphone tech reviewers? Oi. Cheeky. I think I'm up to about 15 these days, I'll have you know. And to be honest, I don't really watch any other tech channels here on YouTube. I've still got big love for my man Basil Cromfley, who has his own channel. Sadly, he doesn't do much in the video side anymore. He's mostly freelancing for a whole bunch of different titles out there. Next up, Ewan says, do you think that the Galaxy S21/S30 next year will have an Exynos chip or a Snapdragon for the UK? So yeah, so for anyone who missed this, the Galaxy S20 FE 5G, which I reviewed earlier this week, does actually come with a Snapdragon 865 chipset in it. It's the first Samsung phone I've reviewed in bloody yonks that didn't have a frickin' Exynos in it. And even if you've got bugger all interest in 5G, that's a great incentive for spooging out another 100 quid on a bloody smartphone. But yes, I really, really hope that that is a sign that Samsung is going to go fully blown Snapdragon in the UK next year after we've been bitching and moaning about it for God even knows how long. I would do anything. Seriously, Samsung. I would get down on my knees and I would listen to Ed Sheeran's greatest hits album for a full 15 minutes and somehow resist the urge to drive red hot knitting needles into my lug holes. Oh, and what a treat, we've got even more hot and sweaty mobile chipset talk for you fine folks, so strap yourself in, let's do this. Charles says the Snapdragon 875 will not match the A14 from Apple, The 865 Plus still does not match the A13. Right, okay, well let's start to unpick this. So first of all, it depends very much on which benchmark test you actually believe as to whether the 865 is trounced by the A13. Some of them have the 865 merrily outperforming the A13 every single time. And of course, when it comes to mobile chipsets, you can't just base it on the speed of how fast they open an app. Bearing in mind, of course, that it's two differently coded versions of the same app on iOS and Android. You've also got to consider the fact that Qualcomm is heavily investing in the AI side of things, which is going to be increasingly important going forward. And then, of course, you've got the likes of energy efficiency, you've got the camera features on there, you've got loads of stuff to sort of pick apart and digest. And frankly, I'm 100% not going to do that on this video. If you want to go see my 865 video from last year, that tells you all you need to know about the infrastructure of the chipset and all the different features that it brings to Android hardware. And I'll definitely be doing another one on the Snapdragon 875 at the start of December when that launches as well. It's all online this year, so stay tuned for that. But basically, Qualcomm's reaction to Apple's A14 reveal was a very smug "just you wait, fella." So I'm very intrigued to see what they launch. On a similar note, Chelsky says, "Shame, I quite like this channel, but the amount of hate towards Apple was a bit disappointing, as I'd hoped to find an unbiased channel. You're not the only biased tech reviewer, but why is it so hard to fairly represent the pros and cons of each device?" Okay, so fair play. Every time there is an Apple launch, when I cover the news, I always do it with the sarcasm level turned up to at least 11. But it's just because I'm so bloody bored of the ceaseless pandering that other YouTubers do. Whenever Apple launch a new product, they always treat it like it's the second coming of Christ. Basically, their tongues are so far up Tim Cook's arsehole that they can probably tickle his tonsils. But when I come to actually review the iPhone 12 devices, I'll do it with a completely open mind as usual. There's always stuff in there that I absolutely love, and there's always stuff in there that I really dislike as well, and I'll be sure to mention absolutely all of it. And yeah, the standard iPhone 12s, they're not getting me particularly excited because they do look like a minor sort of jump up compared with the previous generation. But the iPhone 12 mini, I really hope is a fantastic smartphone, because frankly, we need more really good mini handsets. My weak hobbit hands can't cope with the endless onslaught of 7-inch beasts. So anyway, stay tuned for all of that Apple coverage. And I mean, the funny thing is as well, I've given a bad review to pretty much all of Google's flagship Pixel smartphones over the last few years as well, and every time I do that I get absolutely lambasted in the comments as an Apple fanboy, so I just can't win apparently. Anyway, enough woe is me nonsense. Last time we were talking about how Armageddon is basically dancing right there on the horizon in plain sight. So Oliver says, I bet that robots will take over next year, and then 2022 will be the aliens, if we even make it that far. Excellent. The thing is, that's so depressing, it sounds like it might actually happen as well. So we just got used to our new life in underground bunkers hiding from the murderous cyborgs above, when all of a sudden along comes an intergalactic army of mega twats to basically just carpet bomb the entire planet, and that's that. I think you're probably absolutely spot on there, mate, to be honest. Out of the frying pan and into an even bigger frying pan filled with pissed off sharks and diarrhea. Whereas Lego Pieces is betting on zombie aliens for the Armageddon. Double trouble. Out of curiosity, what happens if you get bitten by a zombie alien? Do you then turn into a zombie human, a zombie alien, or are you alright? Has this ever happened in a book or a movie or anything? These are the burning questions that we need answering, because this could be our reality. Next up, Steel Cobra Tech says, when are you getting an LG phone in for review? I'd like to hear what you have to say about the Wing. I honestly don't. I'm not expecting to get the Wing in anytime soon. I do actually hear from the LG AV guys over in Korea quite a lot, so I've reviewed their speakers and their earphones, and I've actually got a review of their new OLED TV going live next week as well. But as for the phone stuff, nah. And Sir Sloth says, this just became my 6th favourite tech channel. Well, after this absolute debacle, I'm assuming I've slipped entirely out of the top 10. And oh, son, yeah, we are well out of time now, so I went well overboard with those comments. Apologies if I didn't get to yours. There were tons and tons, not last week, the week before. So thank you to everyone who commented. Please do bung your questions, queries, thoughts on which slaphead I resemble down below, and we'll crack on through as many of those as possible next week. And speaking of next week, next Thursday, there is a launch, which I can't actually talk about right now because it's embargoed right up the wazoo. But stay tuned for more on that. I've got all kinds of other stuff going on. I've got some Xbox Series X stuff going live, got LG OLED TV shenanigans. I've got this absolute monster in the post as well, the Lenovo Legion gaming smartphone, so I'm hoping to at some point pull that out of the box. I'm reviewing the Xiaomi Mi 10T Pro. I've got a whole heap of other phones stacked up ready for review. So lots and lots to cover. It doesn't look like Uncle Spurt is going to get much sleep in November either, unfortunately, but don't worry, Christmas is on the horizon. I'll be able to just pass out drunk for a full 72 hours as usual. Hooray for Jesus! So thank you very much for joining me for another TechSpert. Please do subscribe, ding that notification notifications bell, and have yourselves a lovely rest of the weekend. Thank you again for joining me to the end of this absolute show, you crazy motherfuckers. Thank you, love you, bye!